Welcome and thank you very much, everybody, for joining us in this powerful and educational Lunch and Learn. My name is Patricia Houston, and I just want to remind you that this Lunch and Learn is brought to you by Family Partners of Morris in Sussex County. Today, I had the honor of having Juliet Gomez from Kaleidoscope and also Dana Pollack. Be welcome to both of you. So more than welcome to take the lead.
Thank you so much for having us. We're from Kaleidoscope ABA Therapy Services. So we provide center-based ABA therapy to children diagnosed with autism. And we have 16 centers in New Jersey. We have one of our newest centers is in Randolph, New Jersey. Here's our mission statement. Our mission statement, as we can all read, is to make a positive impact in the lives of children, families, and community by providing high-quality ABA services that empower children to create their own journey in life by reaching their highest potential. So that really is our motto. We want to help children reach their highest potential, whether it be at home, whether it be in the community or school. So I will let Juliet really speak about what we do, but just to give you a little background and history, we started a company, Kaleidoscope Family Solutions, about 18 years ago. And that services adults with intellectual disabilities. And we saw a need that was out there for children, specifically with autism. And so we started our ABA services right before the pandemic in 2019, and we opened up in Cherry Hill. So now we are in 8 states, and we have 36 centers. And like I had mentioned, we have 16 centers in the state of New Jersey. So, and again, one of our newest ones is right here in Randolph. So I'm going to turn it over to Juliet. Juliet is our BCBA that is working out of our Randolph location. So she can certainly answer questions or provide you information. So Juliet, take the floor.
Hi, everybody. I'm Juliet. I am the BCBA in Randolph. So I'm here to talk about the services that we provide in clinic in Randolph and in the other 8 states that Dana had said. So what is ABA therapy? So as you guys can also see on the screen, it says ABA therapy is based on the science of learning and behavior. So the whole point of ABA therapy is that we are helping children that have the diagnosis of autism or another intellectual disability, and they're here because we want them to be successful. So the idea is to decrease the behaviors that they have learned to communicate their wants, needs, that may be either hurting themselves, hurting others, or just not productive enough to get their needs met. So our goal is to increase the behaviors we want them to use. So using their words, maybe using an AAC, which is another assisted communication device, whether that be maybe instead of using our hands, we use our words type of thing. So really targeting the need for communication, for language, and for those older kiddos that we get. So typically our kiddos are between like 1.5 to up to 6. Getting them ready for school. So those kiddos that, have been successful with us and are able to communicate, but they need maybe a little bit more focus on their joint attention, which is focusing on the schoolwork in front of them. Or maybe it's those kiddos that are phenomenal in everything, but we have a really hard time telling them how to teach them how to tie their shoes or brush their teeth. Or in general, there are kids that just are great in all aspects, but just struggle to make friends and struggle to have meaningful conversations beyond themselves or beyond what's important to them, which is typical of autism. And those are the things that we focus on. So decreasing those, and I don't want to say negative, but decreasing those negative behaviors and increasing those desired behaviors that are more positive. So the good thing about ABA is that it's not really like copy and paste, right? Every kid is assessed, every kid is reviewed, and based off with the parent interview. Also, we review all documents in the assessment. So each treatment plan is always individualized to the child. So whatever is socially valid, which means like, is it appropriate for the kiddo? Is it going to make them successful in life? Is it going to help them at home? Those goals are reviewed with the parents, reviewed with the school, if there is a school involved, other services that are involved, so that we can meet the needs of the child and the family as well. The good things that along with ABA, it takes, we always say it takes a village to raise a child. In this case, ABA is the same. ABA, we really take parent training very seriously. So the good thing is that we have it typically like twice a month. I always try to shoot for more because the more learning you have, the more successful you'll be. So parent training is key. So everything that I teach a child, that I teach my therapist to teach their child here at the center, has to continue at home. So it's important that we continue parent training, and that is also individualized. So however the parent learns as well is individualized by the BCBA, whether it's me or another BCBA in our other centers, so that the parent can learn and can also apply whatever we're doing here at home, so that we see like a generalized behaviors across the board. So they're not only going to be successful here, they're going to be successful at home as well. So as I was saying, the ABA therapy is intensive for some kids. So those kiddos that need that extra help can go up to 40 hours a week. Or those kids that just need that after school help can go up to like a minimum of 10 hours a week. So the good thing is that it is covered by insurance, and we do take commercial insurance, and we also take Medicaid, which is big in Morris County and Sussex County. For services to be recognized by your insurance companies, you do need to have a medical diagnosis of ASD. However, if there are other intellectual disabilities as well, that is fine. We are more than likely we're able to take those kiddos as well. But in order for us to take those services, they still would need a diagnosis for ASD. So like I said, what do we target? We target language. I know that most parents always strive to have vocal language. Sometimes these kiddos just need another form of language before we build up to vocal language. So that includes PECS, which is the Picture Exchange Communication System, American Sign Language, or an AAC device, which is like a tablet like Proloquo to Go, and there's some other cool fancy ones as well that we do. We really, since we get a lot of the younger kiddos, we really do try to focus on naturalistic teaching. So that really pushes for like peer play. So rather than having a kid focus on parallel, or if they don't know how to play, we teach them how to parallel play, then that builds up to cooperative play. So that means turn taking, sharing, tolerating, sharing with others, not only just tolerating, sharing with themselves. And then again, school readiness skills. So sitting is like one of the biggest things that we work on here, waiting, and that can be applied in all opportunities, not just school. Following group instruction. So we would give group activities here that would be applicable to in school once they get to preschool, because you have group centers and group things that you do as a group. And can't read here, and transitions, which is like the biggest thing that most kids struggle with. Like, I don't want to lose a toy, I don't want to leave the toy, but it's time to go do schoolwork, or it's time to go clean our hands, it's time for dinner. Those transitions are very hard for kids with disabilities to understand, and we really focus to show them that like it's not a goodbye forever, it's just a goodbye for now, or those type of things. So really just trying to curb their thinking, as well as showing it's also curbing the way that we speak to the kiddos and change our language as well, so that we can change their behavior as well and change our own. Adaptive daily living skills. So like I said, those kiddos that just need that little extra push to know how to do toileting, maybe then we need to work on toilet training. Maybe we need to work on just wiping ourselves, hand washing, brushing teeth. And my favorite is feeding ourselves with utensils. As much as you think that is such an easy task, it really isn't for kiddos with disabilities. And that is one of my favorite things to work on, because teaching a kid to eat for themselves and feed themselves is amazing. And then like I said, we don't want to talk about like unwanted behavior, because behaviors are a way of kids, that specifically the ones that are non-vocal, how to communicate. So we don't want to label them as like interfering or unwanted behavior or negative, because we just need to teach them a behavior that's more functional to what they want, so that they can get their wants and needs met. So rather than like taking something, you can then tell them, hey, instead of just taking something, you can tell the kid it's my turn, and they may just give it to you without you having to use your hands. So those are the things that we're really trying to focus on and target. Why center-based? So I've done ABA in most settings, school, home, center, and I genuinely love center-based ABA. It really is the same. There are many qualities that are the same as the other two settings, but at the end of the day, you get a 1-to-1 ratio with a kiddo, even if it's in center. You get 1-to-1 with a BCBA. So your BCBA is assigned, your therapist is assigned, and it's always 1-on-1. So that was why everything is individualized. So an RBT and a BCBA are assigned to your kiddo, and it's a very much individualized in terms of like, that is your person, that is a person that knows your kiddo inside out. And the BCBA is the person that creates those programs, that knows him or her inside out as well. So there is a comprehensive program. So it goes between 20 to 40 hours, and that is the typical age range that we, the hour range that we typically assign, because those are the kiddos that are working on like mostly developmental domains, like as listed. So cognitive, adaptive, social, emotional. Not so much yet in Randolph, but eventually we will be adding that after school hours, which will allow kiddos who go to school to be able to come and maybe work on those social skills, but that will be a little bit down the line. But in terms of right now, we still do work on social skills, emotional skills, adaptive skills, and cognitive skills for the comprehensive programs between 20 to 40 hours a week. Like I said, we get little kiddos, so everything is very naturalistic teaching and playing, and it may look like we look so silly, like going on the floor, rolling around with them, but we're trying to teach these kiddos to be, to target the goals that we're looking for. So if it is playing, then we're going to teach them how to play and have fun. If it is teaching them skills on how to focus on something, we are also going to have to model that, right? So we are going to be doing the same thing that we want our kiddos to do. And that might be teaching skills while eliminating distractions, like being in a home setting that is really hard. While you're in a home setting, you're not only struggling to have the kiddo focus on what's in front of them, but you're also saying, I have mom in the background and dad in the background, and my favorite snacks in the cupboard behind me, and my toys that are in the toy box right next to me. And those are things that I can't necessarily eliminate because that's their home. And that's their safety space. And that's not, you would never want to learn in your safety space, because school is not your safety space. That is a separate place of learning. So same thing as a center-based ABA, you want to go to a place where it's just focused on your learning. And not to say that we don't have amazing toys here and it's not super fun and it's not super safe, but this is specific for us to learn. So it's not home where we can be super comfortable and do whatever we want. This is a place where we're here to learn and have fun. And as we were saying before, so the idea is that we want to increase behaviors that are socially significant and promote independence. So the whole idea that why we're here is we want to have kids be successful. So, and we want it to be important not only to the family, but what is it actually important for the kiddo itself? We're not going to teach things that they don't need. We want the family to be able to have a say. So if they're like, hey, this kiddo needs to work on eating with their utensils, that's what we're going to focus on. That's super important. And I'm sure that the kiddo would rather, be able to say, Mom, I'm hungry, and then be able to feed himself rather than having to wait, cry, scream, and like wait until his mom is ready to feed him when he could just do it himself. So promoting that independence and promoting something that's socially significant to the kiddo and the family. And then like our centers are set up to model a preschool setting. So the good thing is that there is circle time. There's going to be small group instruction so we can work on those skills and targeting of group, individualized therapy. So depending on the kiddo, there could be naturalistic teaching time. So that's very individualized, still a one-on-one, but there also could be DTT, which is direct discrete trial teaching, which is very much direct training, which is you're sitting in a room, you still have access to toys, but this is very much like we're here to learn and we're sitting at a table and we're working on those skills like for school readiness. And then more importantly, when you're in a center, you have access to other children. So there's going to be opportunities for those social skills, which is what most parents want to focus on. I want my kids to have friends. I want my kids to be able to communicate with others. I want my kids to know how to play with others. And that gives us that opportunity when it's a center-based ABA. There is those peer interactions that you can't get while you're at home, unless it's only if they have siblings. And that also then requires a lot of like setting up schedules, interacting, and here it's readily available once there's a bunch of kiddos all together. And then our program directly aligns with preschool standards and prepares them to transition to school settings. So once we have those kiddos that are successful throughout our program and are getting ready to go to school, like or during that age range, which is between 4 and 6, I think in New Jersey is up to 6, we're already changing our goals. So we're like, okay, this kid is getting ready to go to school. We really got to focus on sitting. We really got to focus on having him wait so he can raise his hand for his turn. We got to focus on sharing and turn taking if he's going to preschool. Really got to focus on that group instruction. So it's very much individualized as stated. And then being that it's in a center, they're going to already have like the setting already in their background. Like it's not going to be new when they go to school because this is realistically almost like a school. All right, so this is our center-based program. So as I was saying, it focuses on individualized teaching, DTT, NET, which is that discrete tile teaching, naturalistic teaching, small group instruction, learning centers, school readiness skills, social opportunities, sensory integration, enriching play, movement-based learning, and social meal times. So realistically, within that 8-hour day, most of these kids, and some dependent on what time the after school program starts, they're going to have access to all of these opportunities. There is meal times that are done together. There are movement-based learning during circle time. There is group learning during circle time. There is learning centers when we're doing projects, because this is like very much like a preschool setting. So, during the holidays, we very much have like, group projects to do for something specific with that, sending it home to the parents. And that's just a very nice tangible product to bring home to parents, saying like, look, this kiddo did this on his own with a little bit of help with this. This is how you can do it at home, and promote that as an opportunity to actually start doing those things at home, to integrate that learning at home as well. And then this is the other programs that we were talking about. So full day program is 8 to 4. It's aimed towards early learners, so those kiddos that are much younger, and really does include the school readiness skills, because at the end of the day, we want them to be successful, and if they are going to preschool, we really only have like 2 years to get them ready. So those are the things that we're really focused on, along with the goals that the parents requested. Half day programs also happen. They're 8 to 12 or 12 to 4, and those are aimed towards kids that are in a preschool program or have another other services that are occurring, and then we are basically supplementing. After school program, it can go up. I know that in other centers they can go up to 7 p.m. Right now we don't have that availability, but we do plan to do that within the next year. And it does fluctuate. So it's very much after school support. And typically we would work on social skills, potentially some group skills, but mostly it's more of an opportunity for social skills. And then we do have a social skills program. I know in some of our other centers where they do just focus on social skills. And that can be everything from naturalistic teaching to having an opportunity to play games. And this is like a schedule, sometimes like an opportunity to schedule. Like I had said before, each child has an individualized treatment plan. So if something does not fit for that child, this does not mean that they have to follow it. It can very much be changed. Like if a kiddo needs, more specific time to transition into the center, and they miss morning snack and they miss circle time, that's something that we can always just adjust, because that's very much individualized to the kiddo. So that way we can maybe switch things around, have them join a separate small group, switch NET, and then have them have a morning snack when they're ready, and adjust from there. So this is not very much concrete. This is just an example. And that's it.
Juliet, it's Dana. I just wanted, if you could explain what NET and DTT means.
Sure. Here, so DTT is discrete trial teaching. So that is more so for kiddos that are a little bit older and have those waiting and sitting skills. We still can use DTT to teach sitting and waiting as well, but what that means is more focused on, this is our time to learn. So we are typically in a not necessarily in solitude, because we do share DTT rooms, but more of an opportunity where this is where you're sitting with the BCBA or you're sitting with the RBT or BT that is assigned to the child. And they are in this opportunity, these kids are earning, whether they're earning tokens or they're earning time. And this time is just specifically focused to teaching listener responding skills. If their goals are tacting, if their goals are waiting, if their goals are listener, expressive communication, those goals is where like we're honing in. So it's not necessarily just us playing anymore. This is like we're really sitting down, whether it's in a chair, whether it's on the floor, whatever, but this is the time that we're just focusing on work. And the naturalistic teaching is pretty much play-based. So those are for like the more younger kiddos. So let's say we're teaching the color red. I'm going to go to our food store that we have and pick up a tomato and be like, oh my God, what color is this? That's so funny that since we're playing with it anyway. And he might, the kiddo could turn around and say, oh, it's an apple. Or that could be a teaching opportunity where I'll turn around and be like, oh my God, the apple's red, right? And then have that kiddo maybe repeat what I'm saying. So in an opportunity to learn, like, wait, what did I say? What color is this? Red. Oh my God, so much fun. Let's go back shopping, and like go back to playing. So that's more of naturalistic teaching, where it feels like play, and it's something that just comes up, but it's an opportunity to learn. But
actually, I am very grateful that you guys took the time to do this type of presentation, because I do know there is a need for these type of services. So we are very appreciative that you guys took this opportunity to do this lunch and learn with us. So thank you very much.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Anything else that you would like to add in here before we go to our Q&A station, which that part is not recorded?
I would say that we do not have a waiting list, and
Wonderful. Dana, do you want to add something in relation to the Randolph facility that has opening opportunities for those families that might need services there?
So right now, like I said, we have 16 centers throughout New Jersey. The availability really is dependent upon those centers at the time that you would need the services. Our Randolph Center is one of our newer centers. So at this time, so we're recording this in December of 2023, and yeah, we definitely have availability at this moment with no wait times. The only thing is we do have an intake team that will make it as easy as possible. I have provided an 877 number, which goes right into our intake team, and also an email address that goes right into our intake team. And then once our intake team gets the information, they'll reach out. They'll get your insurance information, verify your insurance, verify the diagnosis, provide a packet of information so that you'll fill out the information, send it back to us. And once all that is complete, we set up an assessment. When I say assessment, that is done by one of our board certified behavior analysts, or BCBAs. And it's really to determine the amount of time that we would recommend services, whether that be 20 hours up to 40 hours. Then that goes to the insurance company to be approved. Once it is approved, then we can schedule services. So, the intake is right away. Then there's a little bit of time to get all of that accomplished.
the timeline is typically 2 weeks after the intake process. So dependent on the families when they decide to schedule the assessment, that is also to be accounted for. But Dana is right that intake is pretty quickly. From there, it's pretty much on the responsibility of the parent or family to schedule the assessment. And from there, typically, once the BCBA completes the assessment within the 2 days that typically we schedule, then we have about like a week and a half to write the treatment plan, have that sent over to the insurance company, and then it's out of our hands and we're waiting kind of for the insurance company to come back. So that's why I said like typically it's a 2 to 3 week time after Dana and the team of intake takes over.
Wonderful, wonderful. And thank you very much for clarifying that. Another thing that I want to remind everybody, this presentation is being recorded. So if you have any questions or something, the contact information, website, everything is going to be in the description box below the video. So everything is going to be right there. Any final thoughts before we conclude with this presentation?
I hope you guys give Randolph a shot. And in Randolph, sí hablamos español.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. Dana, any final thoughts?
No, I just wanted to thank you again, and just to reiterate that we do take commercial insurances and Medicaid, so that's a really important part of our offering as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And with that, we are going to conclude this presentation. See you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.